Somewhere in Germany, someone just traded their Volkswagen for a car brand they couldn't pronounce a year ago. Now they say it's the best decision they've made. Chinese electric cars now make up close to 10% of every new EV sold in Europe, double what it was 2 years ago. That's registration data, not marketing. Most of what you hear about Chinese EVs is either blind hype or blind panic. So here's the honest version. No sponsorships, no dealership kickbacks, just verified prices and specs. 10 Chinese EVs you can actually buy in Europe right now, ranked in euros, from decent to genuinely hard to ignore. Let's start at number 10. Number 10. The Leapmotor T03. This is the cheapest way into a Chinese-backed EV in Europe, built through a joint venture between Leapmotor and Stellantis. It's currently produced in Tychy, Poland, and production is scaling up in Zaragoza, Spain, starting next year. It won't impress anyone on the motorway, small battery, city-focused range, but as a second car or an urban commuter, the price point undercuts almost every European rival. If your daily drive is under 50 kilometers, this is worth a look before you rule it out. It's also a useful signal of what's coming. If Stellantis is comfortable putting its own dealer network behind a rebadged Leapmotor, that tells you something about how seriously legacy European manufacturers are taking this competition. Number 9. GAC Aion. If your biggest hesitation about Chinese EVs is what happens when something breaks, Aion answers that directly with an 8-year warranty, longer than most European manufacturers offer on a comparable model. For context, most mainstream European brands still top out around 5 to 7 years on battery and drivetrain coverage, so an extra 1 to 3 years isn't a rounding error. It's a genuine selling point when you're financing a car for the long haul. Combine that with competitive pricing and dealer coverage that's expanding across the continent, and Aion becomes one of the safer entry points if reliability, not range or performance, is what's actually keeping you up at night. Number 8. The Aura 05. Starting at roughly 13,400 euros, this is currently the cheapest new Chinese EV you can register in Europe, full stop. You're not getting long range or premium materials at that price, but you are getting a legitimate, warranted, brand new electric car for less than most people spend on a 3-year-old petrol hatchback. It won't replace a family car, but as a first EV, a student's car, or a fleet vehicle, the value case is almost impossible to beat. Quick number to sit with. Chinese brands sold 285,000 cars in Europe in the first quarter of this year alone, up 88% from the year before. Number 7. Chery's Omoda and Jaecoo range, soon to be built in Barcelona through a joint venture with the Spanish brand Ebro. Local production matters here because it sidesteps the EU's tariff structure almost entirely. A 10% standard duty plus an extra anti-subsidy tariff that can push the total as high as 35% on cars shipped directly from China. Omoda leans into SUV styling and driver tech. Jaecoo positions itself as more rugged and family-focused. Neither is flashy, but both are backed by one of the fastest-growing exporters in the Chinese auto industry, and soon, a European postcode. Number 6. The MG4. This is arguably the most normalized Chinese-owned EV in Europe already. MG is owned by China's SAIC, and most buyers don't even register it as a Chinese car anymore. It's a genuinely competent hatchback, and SAIC has already pushed it further, launching a semi-solid-state battery version, a technology most European manufacturers are still years away from putting in a showroom. If you want a preview of where battery tech is heading without paying hypercar money for it, this is it. It's also proof that Chinese EV isn't really one category anymore. It spans everything from ultra-budget city cars to brands quietly leading on battery innovation. Before the top 5, one of these cars just went head-to-head with a brand new BMW in the toughest crash test in Europe's history, and came out ahead on points. Here's which one. Number 5. The NIO Firefly. Priced from around £26,300 in markets where it's launched, the Firefly is NIO's answer to the compact EV segment, and unlike the brand's flagship sedans, it's built to actually compete on price. NIO has also been aggressive about expansion, partnering directly with local distributors to enter new European countries faster than almost any other Chinese brand. That kind of local partnership strategy is quietly becoming the blueprint every Chinese brand is copying to move faster than the tariffs can catch up with them. If NIO's swap battery technology and software ambitions eventually reach this model, it could become one of the more interesting compact EVs on the continent. Number 4. The XPeng P7 Plus. This one deserves attention for a simple reason. It's not imported. It's built in Austria by Magna Steyr, one of the most respected contract manufacturers in the automotive world. The same production standard used for vehicles from brands like Mercedes and BMW. European manufacturing also means shorter delivery times and parts availability that doesn't depend on a container ship from Shanghai, a detail that matters more to actual owners than most spec sheets ever will. XPeng is positioning itself as a genuinely tech-forward alternative, and this removes one of the biggest objections buyers have to Chinese EVs: build quality concerns. Number 3. The Zeekr 7 GT. In Euro NCAP's brand new 2026 testing protocol, the most significant overhaul of the test in over a decade, both the Zeekr 7 GT and the new BMW iX3 earned the maximum 5-star rating. But here's the detail worth sitting with. The Zeekr outscored the BMW across 3 of the 4 test categories. Safe driving, 79% versus 73. Crash avoidance, 89 versus 83. Crash protection, 93 versus 86. Both cleared the bar. The Chinese car cleared it higher, and these results were published today, which means this video is landing at exactly the moment the automotive world is processing what that means. If safety is your non-negotiable, the Zeekr 7 GT now belongs on your shortlist, whether you expected that or not. Number 2. The BYD Dolphin. Prices for BYD's electric range in Europe start between roughly 20,000 and 34,000 euros, depending on the model, undercutting the average European EV, which sits closer to 50,000 euros. That's a 9 to 18,000 euro gap most legacy brands simply can't close without losing money on every unit sold. The plug-in hybrid version, the Dolphin G, is already being built at BYD's new factory in Hungary, meaning it's increasingly a European-made car in every way that matters except the badge on the front. For most buyers cross-shopping value against a Volkswagen ID or a Renault, the Dolphin is the car that's actually making dealers nervous. Number 1. BYD, full stop. Not one model, the entire brand. In one recent month, 1 in every 10 cars sold in Europe was Chinese-made, and BYD alone outsold established names like Audi and Renault. And this list barely scratches the surface. BYD alone sells more electric vehicles worldwide than any other manufacturer on the planet, Tesla included. Europe is just the newest chapter in that story. Part of that shift is happening because Chinese brands are increasingly building inside the EU altogether, sidestepping the very tariffs designed to slow them down. Whether Brussels' response, tighter local content rules currently under discussion, changes that trajectory is still an open question. But this isn't a niche success story anymore. It's a market shift happening in real time, in European driveways, right now. Whether that excites you or worries you, ignoring it isn't really an option. So which one, if any, would you actually put in your driveway? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to see exactly how these brands are dodging EU tariffs by building factories inside Europe, that full breakdown is linked right here. This isn't about picking a side, it's about knowing what's actually parked outside your neighbor's house before you decide what belongs outside yours. If this is your first time here, this channel breaks down European car and EV news every week, no fluff, just what's actually changing on the road. See you in the next one.